You're making progress on your personal development and self-improvement journey, but at this point, you're starting to wonder, how do I maintain my progress? How can I ensure that I'm optimizing for lifelong learning, developing my self-leadership skills, and continuing to step more deeply into my personal power? If you want to be the best version of yourself, it is time to optimize for lifelong learning. In my previous video, I mentioned the importance of getting curious without having any self-judgment. So in this video, we are going to go over 3 best practices to do exactly that. Best practice number 1, self-leadership. How are you leading yourself? Are you actively making your own choices, or are you allowing other people to make your choices for you? Are you practicing critical thinking skills and staying true to yourself? Do you know what inspires and motivates you? Do you know yourself? And are you willing to get to know yourself more deeply, because there's always more that you can do to deepen your connection to yourself? This includes self-honesty, a balance where you're being very realistic about yourself. So this is about not giving into the ego or the imposter syndrome, but rather recognizing what you are truly great at and where there is room for improvement. Both of these can exist simultaneously, and they do exist simultaneously. Self-honesty also goes hand in hand with self-trust. They really support one another, so you will want to be developing both of these skills at the same time alongside one another. Best practice number 2, compassionately challenge yourself. I do not believe in tough love, but I do believe in compassionately challenging oneself. Here's the difference between the two. Tough love can be devoid of compassion, and it often is devoid of compassion. Tough love puts the tough first, whereas with compassionately challenging yourself, the compassion comes first, and then the challenge comes afterward. Being compassionately challenged invites you to elevate yourself. There is value and inspiration and motivation and kindness and a leveling up that takes place when you are being compassionately challenged, but none of that inherently exists with tough love. Tough love is not the way. Compassionately challenging yourself is the way. So give this video the thumbs up if you love this concept as much as I do. As a personal fulfillment coach, I compassionately challenge my clients. I am not going to tough love you. The compassion comes first, and then, if and when appropriate, which it most often is, but not always, then the challenge comes. And this looks very different from one person to the next, from one circumstance to the next, and it happens within varying degrees and levels as well. Very often when I'm working with you as my client, the types of challenges that I am going to present to you are to be more accepting and loving of yourself. Some of my most favorite coaching moments are the breakthroughs that my clients have when they start to see themselves the way that I see them, when they show love and kindness to themselves, when they forgive themselves and stay true to themselves. Nowhere in that is me pushing or forcing my clients. Nowhere in that is me being hard or tough on my clients. It's about guiding you, supporting you, encouraging you, helping you, compassionately challenging you with radical self-acknowledgement, self-recognition, self-acceptance, self-compassion, self-love. That is what we do in our coaching sessions. This is the transformative power of personal fulfillment coaching. If you want to experience this for yourself, definitely book your coaching sessions today at saganmorrow.com/coaching. I'll pop that link below. Best practice number 3, intentionality. What are you choosing to learn, and why are you choosing to pursue this path instead of that one? How are you going to approach it to maximize your results? What will you do to test your comprehension? What ways will you measure and track your progress? These are all really useful questions to ask yourself so that you can set strategic and thoughtful goals and milestones for yourself and continue along the way. This also involves allowing yourself to explore and pivot alternative routes and paths. Because as you grow and change, so too will your personal development and self-improvement journey. This means that the learning that you do along the way will also evolve and expand. And bringing this back to our previous best practices of self-leadership and compassionately challenging yourself, do you know what you genuinely want in this world? Do you have a plan of action to get there? And are you doing this through encouragement and self-compassion and challenging yourself in an invigorating way that excites you? All three of these best practices, self-leadership, compassionately challenging yourself, and intentionality, contribute to having that judgment-free curiosity and optimizing your personal development and self-improvement journey for lifelong learning and long-lasting transformations. Now, if you really like all of this, but you still find it's so much easier to think about it and plan things out and put together a lot of ideas, but taking the action is really difficult for you, and changing your habits is a lot harder than you would like it to be, then you will want to stay tuned for my next video. We are going to dig into why you are struggling to change your behaviors and what to do instead to be the person that you long to become. And in the meantime, you are ready to put into practice what we talked about in today's video. Get started on this right now. You and I will work on this together in personal fulfillment coaching sessions. Book your spot at saganmorrow.com/coaching. Link is below, and I will see you at our coaching call for the next level up in your personal development and self-improvement journey.